Hey guys, I'm Maurice, and if you're new to this channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you stick around and subscribe. I know in the past, this YouTube channel has been kind of all over the place. It was a family vlog, it's been reviews, it's been dad life. Even though it's a little bit all over the place, I hope you stick around because I really want to stick to this, and especially I'm kind of invigorated with photography. So if you're into photography, stick around because I think we have a lot in common and we have a lot to talk about. I've been a photographer for over 20 years, which is kind of crazy to say out loud. I like never really considered myself a professional photographer. Like I've always struggled with imposter syndrome. I mean, I started playing around with photography as a teenager. My dad always had a film camera. In fact, so like this is the film camera that, if it'll focus on my face. There we go. This is the film camera that I grew up with. Here, I have a top-down camera so you can check it out. This is the film camera that I grew up with. It's an FM2 Nikon. I have like 3 lenses for it. I mean, this has been in my family. This is like a family heirloom at this point. This has been in my family for so long. I love this camera. In fact, I'm gonna do a video coming soon, because over the summer, I was like organizing this shelf here and trying to create this little set. And I had a box with all like a bunch of old cameras and stuff. And I found this camera along with the lenses. They were all wrapped up. And I found a bunch of rolls of film that I had that I forgot that I had. And I'm like, man, I wonder if this film is still good, but there's only one way to find out. So I put it in the camera and I shot 4 rolls of film all summer long on vacation, out and about. I just decided to take the camera whenever I could, and I shot all the film. So I recently sent it out. So as soon as it comes back, I'm gonna do a video of like a little bit more in depth of film photography. But anyway, I really loved the experience of just like, just having a camera just to take random photos, and this idea of travel photography. It really intrigued me. I've worked in kind of like corporate wedding photography for so long, like event and kind of almost like journalistic photography for such a long time that I've kind of lost, I feel like, and I don't know if maybe you're like me, if you're out there, if you're a photographer, whether you're new to it or you've been doing it for a long time, or it's something that you want to get into, you want it to be fun. And I went from like shooting film on a Nikon to shooting digital on a Nikon. And then like 3-4 years ago, and I did a video on this channel, I switched over to mirrorless, and we switched at my job. They got me the Sony A7 IV, which is like supposed to be like the perfect digital hybrid camera. And don't get me wrong, it's amazing. It's an amazing camera, but like 3 years in, almost 4, and honestly, like,
here's the thing about A7 IV or Sony, I guess in general, you buy the camera, and this is all they give you: a USB-C cable to charge the camera and charge the battery. Like, there's no battery charger. If I'm doing video, I'll have the screen out, because that's another thing. Never use the screen like this. Make sure that screen is out and open and articulated, because the camera does heat up. You want to minimize heat. This camera has been a huge learning curve for me.
I feel like I haven't even cracked the surface of all that camera is capable of. And I was explaining to a friend of mine recently that I don't have fun shooting this camera. Like, I don't have fun. Like, yes, I can shoot amazing video on it. It has all the codecs and all the stuff. And, I follow a lot of guys here on YouTube that are into the specs and they can get deep into that stuff. I mean, I can recommend a few, like Camera Conspiracy is like one of my favorite. The guy's hilarious. He's looking for the perfect camera, and he's never gonna find it, unfortunately, but don't tell him that. And then like on the other side of the spectrum, you have like guys like Peter McKinnon and so many others that are like really just out there creating amazing visuals. And then you have someone also like a Marcus Pix. I mean, if you go to his channel, he is just like is a plethora of like knowledge and experience in film and photography and gear. And yet his philosophy is like, just, keep it simple, stupid, you know? You can do amazing things with whatever. Like, in fact, right now, I'm shooting this video on, you're not gonna believe this, but on a Samsung NX Mini. That's this camera right here that I picked up recently because of Marcus Picks. I took his recommendation and I found a used camera, and I'm shooting this shot on that. And this right here, this shot right here, this over the head kind of shot, this is on a Sony, I forgot the model. I'll put it on the screen here because I always forget that Sony with all their crazy names for models and EV16, whatever, EV this and EVF and EVI and anyway. But I'm trying to shoot this as simple as possible. Now, I have an A7 IV. I can put the A7 IV on the tripod and shoot this video in 4K. But it's just not fun. It's just not fun. And that sentiment also extends to photography. Like I don't have fun shooting that camera. Partly because that camera is work. Everything is with that camera is work related. But also it's big. I mean, I have like the vertical grip with extra batteries in it so that it's a little bit more convenient. It's easier to, it gives you more meat to grab when you're shooting. But like if I have the camera with me on the weekends and we're doing something with my kids or my family, like I really don't feel like taking that camera out. Unless I know I'm gonna do like a family portrait in our backyard, which I did last year, and I know I can set up a photo on a tripod and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll do that. But like, you know, we went on a couple of road trips over the summer, and honestly, I took this film camera and this little Sony that I'm shooting this over the head shot, and my iPhone. All the photos were basically that. And 9 times out of 10, I would use my iPhone to take pictures. I didn't even bother using anything else. Like, you know, I used the GoPro to do video and my iPhone. Those were like my family vlogs are basically shot on that. Now I just recently picked up this little Samsung NX Mini, which isn't like a 4K camera, but it gets decent video. It's interchangeable lenses. Anyway, I'm gonna do a video on that camera. I don't wanna talk too much about it because what I really wanna talk about in this video, and sorry for the long-windedness, I just wanna give you a little bit of the backstory. All that to say, I went down a rabbit hole on YouTube and I decided that I'm going to not dip my toe. I'm just gonna go jump in the lake known as Micro Four Thirds. I know, some people might say like, you know, hey man, this technology is dead technology. They don't even make Micro Four Thirds cameras anymore, lens, whatever. I know the criticism, but I'm also fascinated with the community that's out there for Micro Four Thirds cameras. And I've discovered so many amazing YouTubers right here that are into Micro Four Thirds. Too many to list. I'll link a couple in the description below, but I was inspired. I just became inspired, and I love the idea of just having a small camera that can do really cool stuff, that can allow you to be a photographer. And it doesn't have to be the latest and greatest. It doesn't have to have like a gajillion megapixels. Yes, you can shoot RAW if you want, but you don't have to. You can set up a look that you want in the camera as far as colors and all that stuff, and just have a look that you like, and just have that be your camera, your look. Like when it came to film, you know, you would get either like a Kodak or you know, 200 or a Portra 400, or you would shoot Fujifilm, and there were so many different Fujifilms that would give you a specific look. And the Fujifilm digital Fujifilm cameras can do that. They mimic the different film stocks. But you can do that with any camera. You can just set up a look that you like when you're out and about, and then just shoot that. Or you could just shoot on auto. If you like your photos to be a little bit saturated, you can literally just play around with the settings, put it on vivid or whatever. Every camera has like built-in settings, and then just shoot the highest JPEG that the camera can do. And honestly, like, just go out and have fun. And that's what I decided to do. So after weeks and weeks and weeks of research, you know, what camera to get, because I kind of set a budget for myself. I didn't want to go crazy. I wasn't going to buy a brand new camera with new lenses or anything like that. This was really like budget minded. And as a dad that's on a budget with kids and bills and, you know, a house that constantly needs fixing, I wanted to keep this as simple as possible. I didn't want to feel guilty about buying more gear. So I actually had some old cameras that, and you know, like accessories and stuff like that, that I just decided, all right, I'm gonna put this stuff on eBay, and like I'm gonna like it's almost like trading in stuff that I'm not using for stuff that I'm gonna use. And that's kind of what I did. I posted some stuff on eBay, was able to make some sales. I was able to kind of recoup some of the money. Longer story shorter, I decided to go with Olympus. A lot of people love Panasonic, the Lumix cameras, and you know, I wasn't gonna go like, I don't have it like that, like some other YouTubers that are rocking their Leica cameras. I'm looking at you, David Manning. I wanted to do something, I just wanted different, budget minded, good quality, and small form factor, and also just the ability to have interchangeable lenses, but also something that I feel I wasn't going to be compromising on image quality. And man, I settled on the Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II. I know, very like random and specific model that I kind of like narrowed it down to. But I'm telling you, I went down a rabbit hole. I watched, I think, almost every video on YouTube about like best budget mirrorless cameras, comparing this one to that one, apples and oranges and everything in between. Comparing lenses, best travel lenses, best like small form factor lenses for Micro Four Thirds. But I just kind of really decided to go with this Olympus right here. This is the EM5 Mark II. This camera, I believe, is from like 2013 or 2014. So it's not ancient, but I like the look of it because you look at this camera, metal construction, you know, and you look at my Nikon FM2, and I mean, you can see why I decided to go with this. It's like a baby version of this big film camera that I thought this camera was pretty small. I mean, it's heavy, but it's small. And this is even smaller. Like, this is so nice. Now, the one thing I haven't gotten it yet. I did order this small little like extension that you put down here that creates like a little mounting plate, an Arca mounting plate, and gives you a little bit more grip right here. Because it is a small grip. I mean, I have big hands. So like just right there, just holding it like that, it's kind of small. It has an EVF, which I wanted. It has a flippy screen, which is amazing that you can do a flippy screen. And it doesn't shoot 4K, but I can do 1080p. I can do 24 frames. I can do 30. I can do 60. I can do super fine JPEGs on this. And I can do RAW if I want. And I did some test shots in RAW. Like I chose the RAW JPEG setting, so you get one of each, a JPEG and a RAW. And honestly, like, I'm so used to not shooting RAW, and that's another video that I have to make a little bit further down the line, is kind of explain why I don't shoot RAW. I did test the RAW, and to my eye, there isn't much difference between the RAW out of the camera and the JPEG out of the camera. And I shot some photos over the weekend of like my wife and kids, and we went to this arboretum, and I shot pictures of flowers and different colors just to kind of really see. And it was bright, sunny. It was a bright, sunny day. And man, I barely needed to do anything to the colors. The colors out of this camera, right out of the camera, are amazing. I'm not gonna say they're perfect, but they're as close to what I like visually, as close as possible. Like, I always struggle with Nikon with the colors. I struggle with Sony with the colors. I always have to go in there and tweak. Even though I shoot JPEG, high resolution, super fine JPEG, I still go into Lightroom and tweak the colors and tweak the levels. I know there's tons of people yelling at me right now, and you can go ahead and yell at me in the comments. You know, that's why you need to shoot RAW. It's good to shoot RAW sometimes, but we'll get into that in another video. Back to the Olympus. I mean, I've been using this for a week and I love it. Like, I love it. I already ordered a hand strap that I can attach so I can have it on my wrist with a little strap. I already ordered a small bag, a sling bag, so that I can like carry this and a few other things. But man, this is amazing. This is like amazing. And here's the deal. I picked this guy up. I took a chance and I picked this guy up on eBay. I should have gone to like KEH or MPB, but I did get this on eBay. It came from overseas. I was a little nervous, but man, when I unboxed this thing, it was like, it looked factory refurbished. I mean, I was like amazed. And the quality of the camera works perfectly. It came with the charger, an original battery. It even came with this little tiny flash, which is like amazing to me. Like, look at this thing. You know, like this is amazing, this little tiny flash. And what's funny is that right now, these little tiny flashes are in style now. Like Godox and so many other companies are coming out with little tiny flashes, and I got one. Like, this came with one, because I was even contemplating maybe buying a little tiny flash for this, and then I didn't notice in the listing, I don't know if I forgot, but when I got the camera, I'm like, oh man, I got a little flash, and it doesn't use any batteries. It uses the hot shoe on the camera, and it's powered by the camera itself. Has a little on-off switch, and that's about it. But what I love about this, I'll show it you here, is that you can have it on the camera, and here, I'll put it on the camera so you can see. You slip this on the camera, it's locked in, it has a little lock button. Now, this is what's cool about this. You know, you can get that cool, you know, that trendy look now that everybody now wants to do, which is that like bright flash in your face and everything around is dark, but there's that look. You can do it by just pointing the flash at the person. I love bouncing the light, bouncing the flash, because it kind of creates like a nice little fill. And so, but this thing, you can do it, look, you can flip it up, all the way up, or you can angle it a little bit. And I did a couple of test shots of like my boys just sitting on the couch, and I just popped it up and I was pretty close. And I love the look. And this is so tiny and it's so lightweight. Like, you could just put this in your camera bag and you're good to go. Like, I mean, look at this. It even came with the little cover for the hot shoe, which I was like, man, it's pretty amazing. So now lenses. I wanted to stay on a budget. I wanted budget, but quality. Small, convenient, but good image quality. And so I settled on two lenses. I picked up the Panasonic. This is the Panasonic 12 to 32. It's like a 12 to 32. It looks like a little pancake lens. I mean, this is amazing. Like, look at the lens cap. Look how tiny that lens cap is. Like, when I take that out, look at that. Look at this lens. It's like a toy lens. And so it's closed, and then you open it and boop, and then there you go. Like, that's 32, and then that's 12. So 12 to 32. And with Micro Four Thirds, that you basically just double that number. It's 2 times. So 12 to 32 is kind of like a 24 to 64 millimeter lens. Like a 24 to 70 kind of, you know, which for a kit lens to have that range, it's more than enough. Now, granted, it's not it's a 3.5 to 5.6 f-stop, but I think it makes a great little travel lens because it's so tiny. I mean, I'll put it on the camera so you can see what it looks like here. Again, look at how tiny this is. Like, look at that sensor. It's so stinking small. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, look at that. Take the lens cap off. Like, look at that. Flip it on, and I'm like in the honeymoon phase right now with this camera, but I gotta say, this is just so stinking cool. So I picked up that this is gonna be like kind of my travel, just going around, you know, everyday lens. Doesn't add hardly any weight to the camera. I mean, even with this little flash right here, it's not adding that much weight. This is amazing. But then I thought, you know, I want to get something also that it's at least a decent quality lens for, I don't know, I might want to, you know, do portraits, like, you know, take nice portraits of my family as when we're out and about. And I heard some great things about this lens, so I picked it up, and this is the 45mm f1.4 by Olympus. This is like an amazing lens. Like, you can't look at that right there. Look at the glass. Look at inside, like how that looks. That is just amazing, amazing that something this small, and this is so lightweight. So 45mm is kind of like the equivalent of, it's basically like a 90mm, 85, 90mm lens. And again, it makes it a little bit bigger, like, you know, it sticks out the lens a little bit, but now it kind of looks like, this. I mean, look at that. Now it looks like a mini version of this, of my film camera, of my FM2, which is awesome. And this, for portraits, looks amazing. Words cannot describe how impressed I am with this camera. With a camera that's over 10 years old. It's 16 megapixel, or 16 or 20 megapixel, I think. I'll put the specs over here. It's not 4K. It does shoot RAW. I'm not gonna sit here and romanticize this camera in that I'm not gonna say it's perfect. I'm not gonna say that it's better than full frame. I'm not gonna say that it's better than APS-C, because I also used to shoot with an APS-C Nikon before we went to full frame. I'm not gonna say this is better, but I feel like better is kind of a relative term. Like really, what's better? Because you can look at specs all you want, but if you're not having fun with the camera, if it's not the right tool for you to do what you need to do, then it's not better. So it's really like, what is best for you? And for me, not wanting to lug around a big heavy camera, not wanting something that's overcomplicated or has too many controls or too many menus. And we all know that Sony is notorious with their ridiculous complicated menus. Nikon is a little bit better. This camera does have a complicated menu. There's a lot of options in there, but honestly, like after like less than a week of like fidgeting with the menu, it's not horrible. It's not terrible. And once you come to terms with the fact that you're either going to shoot RAW or shoot superfine JPEG, like if you're okay with shooting superfine JPEG and doing very little, very minimal editing on these photos, the goal is, for me, is to go out, grab this camera, and just go have fun. Go shoot my kids playing, shoot our travels, shoot our day-to-day. Like, I remember in high school, just like every other week, having one of those little disposable 35mm cameras on me, just so that I could walk around and just snap photos. And like, I still have those photos. Like, I have like an entire drawer like full of these photos, like from high school and from that time period in my life. Are they like the best quality photos? No, but they're just memories. They're just memories. I wasn't trying to be creative with them, but guess what? You can be creative with this. You can take spectacular photos with this, and it didn't break the bank. I'm enthusiastic. Like I'm looking forward to like having fun with this camera. I went with this style, this Olympus, because it's again, it reminds me of this. This is what I learned photography on. But admittedly, like, it was a tough choice because I did see a lot of like Panasonic cameras. They're like kind of like their rangefinder style looking cameras that look really cool too. And the picture quality looks amazing too. The photos look amazing on a lot of those cameras. I encourage you, if you're on the market for like a used camera and you want to do your research, I really recommend you going to like KH or MPB. I prefer MPB only because like their website was a lot, I don't know, I like their website a lot better, the aesthetics, and how you search and all that stuff. So I got these lenses from MPB, and like, you know, these are great. You can get anything from like new to excellent to good. I recently ordered the extension to make this a little bit thicker down here so that I can have a better grip, and it adds a little bit of chunkiness right here. I forgot, it's like a bracket specifically made for this model. Found one used on their website. I also ordered another battery for this camera, Olympus branded battery. So that's coming soon. And so I'm like excited, like I'm gonna have my own, like a nice little small little kit that, you know, I mean, when you think about it, like, let me just show you this. Like, here's the charger. So look at this down here. Like, you have a camera with a portrait lens, a travel everyday, like an everyday lens right here with this little kit lens, a flash, you know, you have your charger. I'm gonna have an extra battery, and even with the grip, this camera is so small, so lightweight, and yet still feels sturdy. Like, it still feels sturdy. Like, it has metal, has some metal construction. It feels sturdy and hardy. From what I understand, this camera is weather sealed. I'm not gonna put that to the test. It's a, you know, 10-year-old, 11-year-old camera, so I'm not gonna put that to the test. But like, I don't go out and shoot in the rain anyway. But I'm like excited. I'm excited about the prospect of just having fun with photography again. And I'm excited about populating my Instagram account with photos instead of just quotes and memes, and or reposting quotes and memes. Although I do like to repost scripture. So, you know, I'm a man of faith, and I really enjoy that. So like, if you follow me on Instagram, it's the Maurice Mercado on Instagram. I'll link it below. I do post pictures of like my family every now and then, like of things. I try to keep that account as creative stuff as possible, but I do like reposting inspirational quotes and Bible verses and things like that inspire me, and hopefully they can inspire good and inspire you and inspire goodness, because goodness gracious, do we need goodness in today's age. And I'm looking forward to just playing around with this and sharing this journey with you. So anyway, that's my spiel. Hopefully throughout this video, I've sprinkled photos, test shots of this camera. I'll even put a couple of clips that I shot, video clips, just so you kind of see the quality. In my next video, I'm gonna talk about this Samsung camera that I'm shooting on now. So when I show you this camera, what I'll do is I'll put this camera over there so that you can see the quality of this over there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you stuck around with me through my ramble. And if you're new to Micro Four Thirds, or if you're not, if you're like an experienced Micro Four Thirds person and you stumbled onto this video, man, let's start a chat in the comments. If you have any advice as far as settings, or if you have any experience with this Olympic cameras, just, man, hit me up in the comments below. You can hit me up on Instagram and DM me. I'm sorry that hopefully this video has been in focus the entire time. I can't really tell. It has a flippy screen so I can see myself, but I really hope I have been in focus in this video. Anyway, like and subscribe, please, because it helps the camera, and I mean, like the camera, helps the channel and the algorithm, so that people can find this video. Like, it just feels so cool in my hand. Like, I'm so excited about this. So anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.